Mr. Agnew.
Thank you. Well, it's not like me to have any sympathy for an EU institution, but I do have sympathy for EFSA because, after all, you're scientists producing a scientific conclusion and you're having other people telling you, well, it must be rubbish. There must be something wrong with this material because we want that to be the conclusion. If we go down that route, where is it going to stop? I mean, they've had a really good go at glyphosate. Your organisation cannot find anything wrong with it. We've been using it for 40 years. I personally have been a sprayer operator handling the concentrated product for about 15 years, and I'm still here. What next? First of all, what is going to happen to glyphosate? And what chemical do you think the Green lobby are going to condemn next? The next point I want to make is that this relentless negative publicity on pesticides is putting people off eating fruit and vegetables, vegetables in particular. They just think they must be contaminated. They should be eating vegetables. Instead, they're going to be eating burgers and pizzas and what have you, which are less healthy. We've got a huge problem now with neonicotinoids. Knee-jerk reaction 3 or 4 years ago saying there must be something wrong, they're bound to be hurting the bees. Even when you look at an oilseed rape plant, when it's that high, there's not enough insecticide in it to kill the flea beetle. For at that stage, you're relying on the robustness of the plant to fight the thing off, let alone 8 months later when the biomass is 100 times greater and it's supposed to hurt bees. We've had to swallow that. Now they're saying we can't use these in sugar beet, which doesn't even flower before it's harvested. Where is it going to end? The one bit of work you're doing, which I hope everyone thinks is a good idea, is on antimicrobial resistance, because there we do have a real problem, and I'm hoping that the Green lobby won't frustrate your efforts there. Thank you, Chairman.
There were some questions about neonicotinoids. We all know that there was a ban in 2013, and the Commission has asked us to collect additional data, so-called confirmatory data, and there we published reports in autumn 2016 on confirmatory data for the 3 neonicotinoids. What we do now is a complete reassessment of all uses of neonicotinoids, and this will be published in November 2017. There will be a new conclusion on the risk on neonicotinoids for all uses in Europe. There was also the questions on the bee guidance document. Are we using this bee guidance document that we developed in 2012, that we discussed with the member states in 2013 and 14, still not fully accepted, adopted by the Standing Committee, because some member states still have reservations. But for the neonicotinoids, we use these new guidance documents on request from the European Commission. So it is based on the new guidance document.
Apparently everyone is satisfied, and yes, I didn't think Mr. Agnew would pass up the opportunity. You have the floor.
Well, as colleagues Hausling and Flanagan had nearly 3 minutes, I want to actually ask you another question, and that is field-scale trials for neonicotinoids. What a wonderful opportunity we would have had in the United Kingdom for some areas to be able to use these and some not, and then to have involved the keepers of bees to try and find out where were the highest bee mortality. And you could have done this on a large enough scale and we would have really learnt something from it. I tried to persuade our Minister of Agriculture to do something about it, but he didn't. But field-scale trials tell us something. Things in laboratories and the Green lobby tell us very little.
Thank you very much. On the neonicotinoids, as you may understand, I'm not in the position to speak for the European Commission. We have published 3 reports in autumn 2016 on confirmatory data, and there we have confirmed that there is a risk for bees, and the full reassessment will be published, as I said, in November 2017. On bees in general, EFSA has done for many years work on bee health, and what we try to do here is to get a holistic view on multiple stressors that influence the survival of beehives. So we don't want to look at individual stressors like chemicals or viruses or bacteria or parasites or the way agriculture is done, the nutrition of bees. We want to get a holistic view on factors, on stressors that influence the survival of bees. This is a multi-annual project together with the member states, with the EU reference laboratory in France on bee health, with the beekeepers. We will be present also in the Bee Week here with the European Parliament to create something like an EU bee partnership. So EFSA is really committed to work on this topic in a multidisciplinary and holistic view, which is quite complex also scientifically and mathematically to model the influence of the different stressors, but we are committed to do that, and we would be happy also to report back to you how survival of beehives can be further improved also in Europe.